cheese is not something you skimp on. Okay? Cheese can make or break an entire meal.
The more cheese, the better.
More cheese, fine. Good tasting cheese is what I'm saying. Do you understand? Alright? Okay. Okay, sorry. Josie doesn't want to smoke cigarettes. She just likes the pot. She likes to get drunk. She doesn't want to smoke cigarettes. Okay. Yeah, we all said that too, Josie, at one point in our lives. Kirby said $60 for a half a gram. That's fucking nuts. Yes, it has to be that. It has to be a cartridge of some sort. Man, I can't even complain enough. Okay, like because I grew pot for so long, like I know how much these people are spending on things that they don't need and jacking up the price because of it. Like it is, and I'm not talking about just like the facilities, I'm talking about the whole fucking food chain, okay? But if you haven't heard me, Gerby, go and invest in that company HEXO. It's a Canadian company and they have a shit ton of pot. And they just did they're still under a fucking dollar. But this time next year, they're not. They might not be more than just $1, you know, like much above it. But that fucking industry is not going anywhere. And HEXO already has a ridiculous amount of indoor grow space. Like, their largest fucking indoor grow is 38 football fields.
Oh, shit.
I want to go there so I can fucking cry. Like, I'm at Mecca sort of fucking situation. And then this year, Canada opened up the pipeline between, like, all of U.S. and like Canada can ship their pot down here, okay? And we at some point will start shipping our pot up there, but we won't have to, or they won't need it. They won't need it because they started growing the pot legally a few years before we did. And then HEXO made a deal with Coors, and Coors, everybody knows the name Coors, whether or not you fucking drink it.
Coors.
And they're going to make cannabis infused drinks, and they're going to offer it on a worldwide scale. So HEXO grows the pot, and they sell the pot. They do all of the things, and they have their own fucking line as well. They sell it under their brand, and then they sell it to other brands so that they can, you know what I mean? They partner up with fucking. It's a out of the park win. So this is what is the most exciting thing. If I haven't seemed to have blown your mind yet as to why you should invest in this specific company. Canada just decided this year that everyone can start growing their pot outside. That cuts costs in like 80% right there. They're gonna have to do their first immediate install. They may or may not end up doing black boxes. I don't know. They might just do like regular greenhouses, but as of right now, everything had to be electrically done. It had to be an indoor grow room set up. All the lights, all the fans, all the fucking bullshit. Now, you know how much empty space there is in Canada? And all these countries are starting to do cannabis business with each other. Like the pipeline is opening. I say everybody who is smart,
trade war.
put your money in these stocks. And that's one of the few that is still cheap enough for everyone to purchase. You have no excuse to not spend $10 on this fucking stock a week.
Where's the cheapest weed gonna come from? Probably the U.S.
There you go. I don't know if that's true.
Transportation.
Because of transportation, right?
And tariffs.
Huh. Imagine that in Europe cocaine is cheaper than that, though I understand that they have to rip all the taxes out of those products, of course. It's a win-win.
You take the cigarette out of my mouth.
Yes, I can. What else we got here? Oster, with the overhead,
Oh,
Canada doesn't have too much environment to farm weed outside because how north it is. They can probably make one patch per year in the summers.
Florida's better. Central.
So I actually don't know that much about Canada. And I know that Canada is fucking huge, right? But the further north you go, the less populated it is for obvious reasons. In the areas that are less populated, they will set up wherever the fuck they can. The point is not that Canada specifically has now allowed this, and they have a great terrain to do it in, great climate accommodations. The point is, U.S. has been following suit with Canada as far as this has started, as long back as 2010. We have taken so much, and if because the economy right now has tanked, and if they legalize here in the U.S. the ability to grow on a large scale outdoors, amazing. Because we're already having to ship it in
I just killed like
from
10 people.
Canada. And then Oster said that they probably need greenhouses. Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I would assume that they would do the greenhouse thing and that they would do the black box thing so that they could get 2 solid crops every year. But if you think about just like the enormity, the scale of it, 38 fucking football fields just in one grow. That's one of many. They they produce like 4, I think it was like 4.1 tons of pot last year. And then they're just going to keep producing. They're just going to keep getting more. I mean, it has... Go and check out that video. I do a great job. I only made the one because it was really fucking time consuming, and I would prefer to like relay the information this way, but I made a really fantastic video. It's on YouTube, and I think it's called Short Sativa Stock Session, and it's HEXO. Canada's cold, said Gerby. Indeed, it is cold. What are you gonna do? It doesn't necessarily have to be like hot to grow pot. Believe it or not. There's a whole there's a whole genus. Is that the word that I want to use?
I don't know.
In the weed family that is specifically
There's a plant that has some genetic qualities that are more adaptive to a colder climate.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. Like, people, if there is a will, especially with potheads, there is a fucking way. We are the smartest of all the drug users.
Weed ain't no drug, man.
I know, weed's not a drug, okay, whatever. I did the cold. I fucking know it's not a drug. I think of it as a flower.
It's like green beans, man.
Oster said if they legalize that same way in U.S., I bet South will just be water pipes and dope fields. See, the Southeast is way too wet, but the Southwest is way too fucking dry. Like, Southern California is already taken up by farms, so you're gonna see a lot more import of vegetables and fruits, and then those farms that used to grow strawberries, they're gonna start growing pot. They're gonna get bought up, and they're just gonna grow pot, and it's gonna be just like the Midwest, and the Midwest is gonna turn dope city too, which would be beautiful. It'll take a while because everybody loves the Jesus, but
Amen.
Gary said, don't gotta be hot to grow pot. I know, I was successful doing it. Believe it or not. I wish I had read the whole fucking thing before I gave my...
He's rapping, man.
Before I gave my opinion.
Ain't gotta be hot to grow pot just because you got a plot. It don't matter because your government buy you a pot now. Who gives a fuck now? What's up, yeah?
Awesome.
Right. That's all I got. Sorry.
Got it. I got you, babe.
I spit it. I think I spit it for almost 2 bars.
I think it's fantastic. What else you got, Gerby? Yeah, I see pot, like, there's so many, if, even, okay, let's say, okay, so, like, I use that Robinhood app. For any kids who don't have an app or, like, a grand idea of what you're doing, but you would like to take some very simple advice. There is a game changer with stocks in that now you can buy fractional shares. So like the Robinhood app, you have to use the app for X amount of time before they allow you to use said fractional shares. So like someone like me who totally could not afford Tesla, because Tesla, as far as my understanding today, went to like $2,005 a share, I can put in $20, right? Which if I had put in $20 3 weeks ago, I would have made X amount of dollars, because I think it's gone up, what, like, at least it's more than 500, perhaps. I don't know how much more than 500, but it's definitely more than $500. So it wouldn't have been much, but for sitting on my ass and just giving away $20, I made money and I could immediately take it out, and then I could do that again, because it seemingly in the immediate it's just going to keep going up. I was quoting you, dum-dum. You didn't even realize you were spitting hot fire. Oh, or did I, and you didn't realize that I already knew? Ooh. You'll never know, you'll never know. I'll never know. Austria says North Canada is north as Finland. Oh, it's as north as Finland. And it gets to be 47 Celsius, which is like 50, negative, okay? Negative 53, which is like what it gets like here. Like where I'm at. It gets to, not every fucking year, but it's all, the Midwest is all, okay, anyways. That's a little too cold for any flower plant. Is it? But it's not like that every fucking day, right? But sure, Canada has room for greenhouses, but I don't know. Is farming outside that profitable in the end? And the greenhouses are cheap as fuck. Okay.
How much land do you have?
Nathan, let me just fill you in on a handful of different things that you could think about on this one. One, free energy source, obviously the sun. Granted, you do have to prepare the land regularly, and pot needs an incredible amount of nurturing. So you're not necessarily going to be planting it in the ground. So they have like these huge fucking pots that you can use, and they'll just reuse those, you know, over and over, which makes it a little bit easier. And then all you really need is a truckload of people to continuously maintain said plants, which is what you would do inside. But in this sense, you're doing it outside, which is a less desirable job, especially if it gets warm outside. So you can pay those people less. I don't know how that works, but that's how it fucking works. It works like that with our food. So, water, it's all basically the same, but you're not paying rent, you're not paying electricity. Honestly, I would love to go and tour one of these places, because like I can't even imagine how many hands on deck there would be needed to successfully take care of 38 football fields of a grow. You know what I mean? And then like, who are these fucking people? Are they just, you know, are they people that have experience like specifically with pot, or are they people who just like plants in general? Like, I don't know. Like from what I've heard. All right, let's see. electricity bill, water bill, and what costs and workers. Yeah, exactly. Those greenhouses are cheap as fuck. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They'll, and then they can, yeah, yeah. And then we had the greenhouses where the sides would roll up, so then the wind would scoop through on the bottom, and then there was the tarp would slide over. And everything was just, I'm tiny as fuck. And I could do it with one hand. Like, the technology is amazing. Poozy! 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 How's it doing? Great. Okay, can't do it more than 3 times a day. You'll get flagged as a day trader. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm not I don't sell my stocks. But that's a good thing to point out. And that's something that people don't talk about enough. So, when I was talking, I know I'm a little bit behind, and I don't mean to be, but when I was talking about investing $20 in a company like Tesla, or like Apple's at like $4.50, I think, a share. So, a few weeks ago, we were talking about this, because Poozy, we talk about stocks regularly. It's one of my favorite things right now. We were talking about Apple, so I bought up, I didn't even do that much. I think I put like $50 in, and I've already doubled, I've already gotten 100% return on my money. But I waited. I didn't do the day-to-day thing. And I know $50 isn't much, but none of us are fucking working right now. I'm not. I mean, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'm like always at work, and also never at work.
Now you hardly.
So, Poozy says, what if we can